And there was no talk about meeting again with Russia and a peace deal where Ukrainian lands would be given over to Russia. In fact, Marco Rubio was just at the Security Council talking about military options should Russia not come to heel. So, this is a very big flip in policy for the United States government coming out of these meetings today at the UN.
Yeah, and those meetings, like you mentioned, Zelensky is the one I want to talk about because you mentioned it. That was the big development today. And this was a meeting between Trump and Zelensky on the sidelines, the bilateral of these two leaders there. And of course, we heard from President Trump on social media that claims that obviously Ukraine can win some of those territory back there in Ukraine following a 3.5-year war with it. How much is the United States now back, and how much of a flip is it? Is it a complete 180 because President Trump has outed his friendship with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, and now he's saying that unfortunately it doesn't go as far. That relationship, that bond, didn't really mean as much to him. How much of a shift could it be, and what are we expecting next in terms of that? Because now we know what Russia and the world leaders are talking about. What do you expect next?
Well, it is a big shift, and um, but it's been happening slowly over time, right? We've heard President Trump now repeatedly talk about his increasing frustration with Putin, that he thought at first that his friendship with Putin would produce results, and then he felt he was being tapped along. And he even has mentioned that his wife, Melania Trump, has noticed it, that he'll have a great call with Putin, and he'll hang up the phone, and she'll turn on TV and notice that he's bombing a Ukrainian city right after he had this talk about peace with President Trump on the phone. And so he started to feel that perhaps Putin was being duplicitous with him. But I do think the one development that perhaps went slightly unnoticed is in the meeting with Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission. She 100% adopted President Trump's position that the European countries should not buy Russian oil or gas, which President Trump has maintained is helping to fuel the Russian war. And she was categorical in that they shouldn't do it anymore and that they were winding it down. And I do think that Trump thinks a lot in business terms and in import and export terms. And the idea that both NATO is going to buy American weapons to help Ukraine fight Russia, and now European countries are no longer